How are we doing today, Chicago Cubs fans? We are back with another edition of Cubs Daily. My name is Steven Ryan. The Cubs just absolutely didn't have it last night. And it just a 12-3 routing of the team. I mean, the Giants, who have notoriously struggled at home all year, they're just scoring runs left and right. We're going to get into all that here in a moment. We do have some fun stats about the Cubs, talking about the team's starting staff, of course. This is aging like fine milk as we talk about it right now. We got injury news, and we'll preview the series finale. So, let's hop right into it. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the Cubs just absolutely get demolished. I'm not sure if there was a way to win this game. I mean, it was just a pretty much bad start pitching effort all around. Again, we were due for something like this in terms of pitching, right? Generally speaking, the losses the Cubs have experienced here recently are, like 4-1, 3-1. Somewhere pitching efforts like there. You should find a way to win those ball games. Tonight, there was nothing this team could have done to possibly match what they just saw from Rafael Devers and the rest of this Giants offense, which, again, has notoriously struggled this season. So, just gotta chalk it up to a bad day. I mean, luckily the Brewers did lose, so we didn't lose any ground, but not enjoyable experience in terms of watching the game. But hopefully tomorrow we can salvage a series and get on to Colorado and get right versus the Rockies. So, talking about the Cubs starting staff, obviously I'm going to say this from before tonight and yesterday night. The Cubs have the best ERA since July 1st in terms of their starting pitcher. Now, obviously, this has been paired with Cade Horton's emergence since the early days of June. Shota has been solid all year. Obviously, Matthew Boyd has been an all-star for the first time in his career, but again, I think this is just attributes to how well Colin Ray has pitched for us and Matthew Boyd. Notorious guys with high ERAs early on in their career. Obviously, they've both figured something out where they found a little bit more success, but Colin Ray can be exposed to nights like these. He's not an overwhelming pitcher. He's done a fantastic job eating innings for this team, but, it's just nights like this are going to happen, especially. But again, best ERA in baseball from the starting staff. That's very encouraging. That's what you want to see. The ERA was just below 3. And again, if your starting pitcher is going to allow 2 or 3 runs in 5 or 6 innings, that has to be enough to win baseball games. And obviously the bullpen can't, attribute too much more after that as well. So, just, again, there's numbers you see on the outside with this team, right? That they're like, wow, best ERA in baseball since July 1st, right? In the first 2 months, the way this team was hitting was just on a historic pace as well. But then you watch the day-to-day actions of this team, and you're just like, I don't know how this team matches the numbers that they're producing, right? So, again, I think tonight, I don't think anything would have happened. There was an argument that, Colin Ray was left in a little bit too long, but I don't think that's going to contribute to anything. But it's just about enjoying watching this staff continue to develop, right? Shota obviously has been a steady presence when he's healthy. That is contributing to this ERA lead. Cade Horton has just been unreal. We went over his stats yesterday, right? A sub-half ERA in his previous 7 starts. Matt Boyd has been very, very solid. Obviously, his start the other day did not go as planned. But again, this team, the starting staff, gives this team a chance to win. We just have to take advantage of it, plain and simple. But a guy who was actually starting to get going and kind of, doing well for us. It was only 2 starts, but what Jameson Taillon was bringing to the club was awesome as well. And unfortunately, he's going to be going to the 15-day IL with a groin injury. He must have tweaked something in his last start. Again, that first start against the Brewers, maybe his best performance as a Cub that I've seen. I know he's had really good games where he's gone into the 8th and 9th, but just to face the hottest team in baseball and hold them to 1 run in 6 innings on your first start back from the IL is truly, truly impressive. So, again, just it's another blow to this staff, and I think they recalled Jordan Wicks for him because he got into the game yesterday as well. So now the Cubs have to rely even more on Colin Ray and names like Javier Assad. Ben Brown might come in and get another start or two. Just, piecing this thing together down the stretch for the playoff push. It has been tough, no doubt about it. But Jamison Tyone, when healthy, when right, is a key contributing member to this team. He's a really, really good 3 pitcher, maybe number 4 pitcher as well, depending on the strength of the staff. Now, when we're fully healthy, that's going to be a different conversation entirely, obviously, because you got Justin Steele in the picture. But that's a different conversation for next year. Losing Tyone this year does hurt a little bit right now. So hopefully it's just a minor injury, and he can come back and do us a solid job down the stretch as we begin to secure the wild card position. Again, only 6.5 games back. I say only 6.5. 6.5 games is a lot of games to be back of the Milwaukee Brewers, but you never know. A good week here, a good week there, and we'll be back in that division race picture. I don't think it's going to happen. I want to clarify that now. But in this game of baseball, you never, ever know, and you can't rule out anything, right? I think it was, what was it? It was in like the early 2010s. The Cardinals were 9 games back starting in September, and they got to the playoffs. Again, anything is possible. There's no lead that is not until big until that magic number hits 0. Am I right? So, ultimately, fortunately, the Cubs do have their stopper going tomorrow, Shota Imanaga. I know I've said that about a few of our pitchers here recently, but Shota has done a fantastic job, specifically coming off losses. I believe he's got a record of 20-3. The Cubs have a record of 20-3 when Shota starts, and it's after a loss. So, really, really important thing for the Cubs tomorrow to get right, get back in action, because we're catching a flight to Colorado, and hopefully we can sweep those Colorado Rockies. So as for the Giants, who have just been hitting the snot out of the ball, they've been incredible here these past 2 games. This is not who the Giants have been. They've notoriously struggled at home. They had a really, really, really rough stretch here these past 2 weeks that kind of flipped their record upside down. They were like 5 games above 500. Now they're 4 games below 500. So curious to see. And of course, we're going up against their ace pitcher, Logan Webb. So hopefully the Cubs can figure something out here to combat him. I thought, the game Tuesday would have been the game to win, right? I thought tonight would have been the game that the Cubs dropped. Now we need to get a game tomorrow just to get back on track in this situation. So just a disappointing performance again tonight, but all hope leaning for tomorrow because we got Shota Imanaga on the bump. Logan Webb is a tough competitor, though, so I do expect a good game. That's going to be early on in the afternoon, so hopefully you can enjoy your Thursday evening with a Cubs win. So let me know you guys' thoughts about the game yesterday. If you watched it, what inning did you turn it off, etc., etc. Did Colin Ray get left in the game too long? I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon.